As you know, on this show, our goal is to reveal and restore truth to Alabamians and to Americans. You may also know that as a society, we can't continue to live in direct conflict with the Word of God. So, as a Christian, we are pro life. We, as Americans, were founded on Christian principles. And so we have to ask ourselves in this day, why are we compromising those beliefs that we were founded on? So I think that the answer to that is just like Edmund Burke said, the evil prevails only when good men do nothing. Knowing this, it would be easy to hear only the negative things. But we have something positive to report to you today in Alabama. Our legislators have been working on new abortion legislation. Today I'm joined by Representative Ed Henry. So, Mr. Henry, please tell us a little bit more about this legislation.
Well, gladly. We're one of the bills we're working on right now is House Bill 18, sponsored by Kerry Rich. And that bill, it basically says that science has proven that a baby at 20 weeks is able to feel pain.
Right.
And we're constrained at some level of being able to outlaw abortion, which is where we would love to be. But we have to take what we can get. You know, we've talked about that. And at 20 weeks, it's proven that the baby feels pain. And so we can actually, by the way the federal guidelines are written, we can reduce the age that somebody is allowed to murder their child down to 20 weeks. And while it's not where we want to be, we want to say stop killing babies, period.
Right.
We've got to keep peeling this back layer by layer, and where we will eventually get to. I want Alabama to stand as the first state in the union to challenge Roe versus Wade. I think it's time.
Right.
I don't think science, back in the day when the Supreme Court ruled, I don't think they understood what happened in the womb and what was going on with the fetus at certain ages. And I think it's time to challenge that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm really looking forward to this piece of legislation that's coming.
So, like you were elaborating to, there is further we can go.
Oh,
with
definitely.
This.
Definitely. This is just the first of many fights.
Okay.
And we're winning.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So as a high school student, I hear the effects of this, the AEA juice every day. So it's easy, once again, to concentrate only on the negative things that are coming. But so please elaborate on the legislation that will be improving our education.
Right. One of the things we really have to get under control in this state is spending. And we waste a lot of money, especially in education, on things that don't really affect the classroom, that don't get down to the level of the student. And I've asked many people within the superintendents, school board members, classroom teachers, what's the purpose? What is the purpose of the education system in the state of Alabama?
Right.
And I think the purpose is to educate our children, right?
Right.
So why do we spend so much money in trying to get rid of teachers who are not doing their job? Do you know what the average time it takes to get rid of a bad teacher? Take a wild guess. Just throw something out there. How long does it take?
3 to 4 months.
246 days on average to get rid of a bad teacher.
Wow.
And during that time, we have to pay them their full salary. And if they go to school and they get their master's degree, they get an automatic raise during that time.
That's crazy.
So we're wasting money. And there's a new bill out, it's Senate Bill 310 that we're working on right now. And that bill, in essence, does away with tenure as we know it. The teacher will still have due process.
Right.
If somebody wants to let them go, if a school board or a principal decides that they aren't doing their job, but they feel like they are, they can appeal it.
Okay.
Now what happens, instead of us paying them during the appeals process, the state will hold their money in escrow, and if they win, then we will give them all of their money, plus we will pay their legal expenses. But if they lose, we haven't paid them a dime during this process. What we've done, essentially, we hear these stories of people who know they are in the wrong. They know they should be fired.
Right.
But why would you not go through the appeals process and drag it out for another 200, 300 days and get paid?
You're getting paid. Right.
You're getting paid. So that's the big thing. And again, the association, the Education Association in the state of Alabama is freaking out. They don't like change, even though it will be the best thing for the classroom. It'll be the best things for the students.
And what I appreciate most is that you are bold enough to stand on your Christian principles as a government leader, and that you acknowledge the importance of prayer in your job. We know how powerful prayer is, but will you tell us how important prayer is to this current body of leaders?
Well, I know for me personally, I'm in this because of prayer and because of God's leadership. And then at the State House, at least in the House of Representatives, there's 24 out of the 26 representatives that I know without a shadow of a doubt are God-fearing followers of Christ, both men and women. And it's apparent when we're on the floor of the House that we have people back home praying for us, giving us strength, because there's such a confidence, and it's comfortable to be there and know that you're there for a purpose. You're there doing God's will in our government. And it just gives us strength to know that you guys are back home with us.
That is amazing. Thank you for joining us today. God bless you.
Thank you for having me.